I hate that. Honestly, that is nonsense. That is nothing supporting that. And quite frankly, that's just a really poor take from somebody who, in my opinion, doesn't know what they're talking about. Over time, I feel like I've exceeded the weight limit of this chair and it's gradually getting creakier and creakier. We're not going to put it down to me gaining weight. We're going to put it down to the fact that the chair is probably poorly designed. That's why. Today, we're going to look at something I haven't done for a little while. We're going to look at TikTok and we're going to show all the reasons why sometimes TikTok annoys me, because despite using it for doom scrolling, there is some nonsense on there, but there's also some pretty good stuff too. Before we do so, I'm going to present a couple of things. Number one, nutrition guide is a couple of weeks away from coming out. I'll let you know in the video, but it's going to come out in the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Bloody excited for that. Been in the works some time. It's going to be bloody cheap. It's going to be bloody fantastic, and you're going to like it because I'm very proud of it. And then I'm actually going to get to work on the next growth guide, which is not going to come out till next year, but it's going to be over 100 pages. It's going to be insane. Pending. The second thing is, if at any point throughout this entire video you actually just learn something from this video, or even just agree with what I'm saying, I'd very much appreciate it if you did subscribe to the channel, because despite you think it probably doesn't mean much, to me it means everything. And if I can't have a dog because I live in a flat, I would love some new subscribers. Exercises grew my legs from this to this. Let's find out. There's a mass difference there, and I'm sure it's purely because of the exercise selection, nothing more that's been added into the protocol. A squat pattern, yes, but it's a reverse V squat. I don't like it, because let's have a look at a few things. Range of motion is suffering. That just looks like a really uncomfortable movement. I've done it before. I just don't like the V squat. Facing that way, facing the other way. Pants movement, throw it in the bin. People are going to say, oh, but I feel it so much in my glutes or my quads. You know what I feel a lot in my quads? Walking. Standing off my chair. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get fat juicy quads from doing basic activities. Leg press, back it. Like the leg press. Low narrow stance will typically recruit more of the quad, because it will also encourage more knee flexion, which we like, because knee flexion means your quad is doing good work, and when your quads are doing good work, maybe they'll grow. Walking lunges, yeah, I mean, walking lunges are fair. Again, quad bias, glute bias depends, you know, they're good. The more knee flexion you get from a walking lunge, so probably like a narrower step, the more quad's going to typically get involved. Leg extensions, banging. That's it. Honestly, one of the few movements I say you kind of probably should include, just because it's one of the very few movements that actually targets a rec fem effectively. Without the leg extension or like a city squat variation or something like that, you're probably going to be struggling. We're going to ignore the fact that there are other things that have come into play regarding what may have helped grow the legs. And if you don't know what I mean, don't worry about it. Don't need to know. Okay, lemon squeezy, come to the gym with me as a beginner. I will. Deadlift, solid movement. So thing here, you see there, bring the head down. It's a very uncomfortable position to be in. So a few little adjustments. Firstly, I'd actually take the shoes off, because again, it looks like they've probably got a soft sole. Probably not the best when you're trying to drive force through the feet. But again, head down. So a big thing with a neutral spine, conflicting opinions on this, but I always say neutral spine is from the top of the spine, being the neck, down to the tailbone. For it to be neutral, the head would want to be down. It'll be a lot more comfortable as well. Look a lot more natural, and may actually better help you maybe sit back into a nicer position too. But I respect the movement selection. Deadlift's a solid movement, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Hypertrophy, not so much, but general just weight training, yeah, I respect it. A squat pattern on the Smith machine, if you step forward a touch, you'll see that you'll actually be able to break a bit more of the hips, which will probably allow you to go a little bit deeper, more comfortably. At the moment, the hips are kind of behind you. You essentially want to stack, in a lot of cases, not all cases, the hips underneath you. So if you're kind of like this at the moment, step forward a bit more vertical, a bit more stacked. And like I said, it also means you're probably going to find range of motion a bit easier as well. Bicep curls? Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. That's fantastic. Good stuff. I respect it. See, dumbbell row here. So what I would say is I'd actually lean on the rack in front of you, so you're a bit more horizontal. And then rather than kind of rowing upwards, I kind of row what I imagine is elbow to the hip. Keep the elbows close to the body and think elbow to the hip. It's going to bring more of the lat in, and it'll be less like a shrug variation. So I'd rate it. I mean, yeah, I'd actually prefer to do this with a dumbbell probably, or like a Y raise or something. And what you kind of want to do is essentially raise out at about 40 degrees or so. So not like directly to the side, maybe about here. You can go directly to the side, but my traps take over a lot there, and I want to avoid that. And maybe avoid going all the way out. Maybe stop just above parallel. But the movement selection itself, like the basic patterns, like a deadlift pattern, a squat pattern, a row pattern, yeah, I respect it. Good stuff. In memento, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment to let you know why you should probably stop sitting down. Interesting thoughts for you to ponder. But the reason why I'm doing so is because this video is indeed actually sponsored. Again, shocking. There's people actually watching my stuff and tolerating me. It's bloody fantastic. And it is in fact sponsored by a company called FlexiSpot. So this company, they reached out to me and said, Harry, we want to send you a standing desk. Would you sponsor it in the video? And I said yes, because I actually need one, because funnily enough, if you've watched my channel for long enough, many years ago, I blew my back out quite badly. And ever since then, I've had really nasty sciatica. I've come to identify that I probably have sciatica because I sit on my computer for about 12 hours a day. I slouch and slump like an absolute sausage. So they said, haha, fantastic. Can we send you something so you can actually stand when you're working? I said, sure. I'm probably going to film videos sitting down because I get out of breath standing up. But when I'm working, I would love to stand up and not complain about sciatica, because it's actually ruining my leg days and I'm bored of it because my left leg feels like it's going to fall off. So they sent me this desk and they said, Harry, it goes bloody high. I said, I'm 6'3". Show me how high it gets. You'll see it on screen if you haven't already. It gets bloody high. Luckily, I don't need it that high. I then raised to them, I said to them, homies, I said, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm concerned about the weight because my setup is huge and it's going to be hefty. They said, don't worry, Harry, lie on it and see for yourself. So I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh, but it's around the 250 pound mark. I'm lying on that desk and it's not wobbling. There is movement there, and that movement's coming from me, not from the desk. It passed a wobble test, it passed a weight test, and I like to think my computer doesn't weigh as much as me, because if it does, I need to get heavier. And it also passed a height test because it goes far taller than I could even reach myself, so I never need to go that high. Don't come for me for my cable management, because it got sent to my mum's house. I needed help her because she's moving house right now. I didn't want to stress about cable management when I'm just going to have to take the desk apart just to move it here, so that's why the cable management is shocking. Don't fight me, I'm sorry. The desk itself comes with a 10-year warranty, which is crazy because I've never had a desk that lasts that long. And there's also a 60-day return policy. If you hate it in 60 days, you can send it back for free. Bloody laughing. And as we see on the website, it's very customizable. You can change the colors. And obviously they said, Harry, what color do you want? I said, oh, look, I'm going to push the boat out. I'm going to be a bit diverse, a bit dangerous and a bit naughty. Can I have black, like with everything I own? So if you fancy it, I would very much appreciate if you did just even check out the website, which is flexispot.co.uk. But again, there's never any pressure. Just know I would never promote something on my channel that didn't have some purpose to somebody. And in this case, that purpose is actually to me, my bad back, and my dodgy left leg sciatica, because quite frankly, I'm bored of it. So thank you to FlexiSpot for actually sponsoring this video, and thank you to FlexiSpot for hopefully sorting my sciatica out, even though I probably just need to stop sitting like an absolute sausage. But now I've waffled about that, we're going to carry on cracking on with a video about TikTok.
How many calories a day do you eat?
Oh, are you ready?
I want to know.
Are you ready? 58.
What?
Oh my God. I can barely eat 4,000 right now. It's so hard.
What I'm going to say there is whether she does or doesn't eat 5,800 calories a day, who knows? She mentioned she has Crohn's disease. The kind of stemming from this, a lot of people typically lie about what they're doing and how much they're eating. They think they're eating this much, but a lot of people inflate their numbers because they think it looks good for social media, or they might eat that once in a blue moon and then say they eat that all the time, but in reality they're not that consistent with it. So just because somebody says they eat so many calories online, be that so little or so many, doesn't mean that they do. So just be aware of that. People aren't necessarily always honest. I'm not saying she is not being honest here. I'm just saying in general, sometimes people aren't the most honest.
That creatine, mister, I want to be big and I want to look strong and show up. The people that take it, from what I've seen, are the people that don't want to work hard.
I hate that. Honestly, that is nonsense. That is nothing supporting that. And quite frankly, that's just a really poor take from somebody who, in my opinion, doesn't know what they're talking about. Creatine is not some magic pill that's going to make you look shredded and amazing. Creatine is going to benefit your performance a small amount, really not that much, and it's not going to help you pack on loads of muscle. It's not going to make you so much stronger. It's just something you can take that's naturally occurring in food anyway, depending on what you eat, in a greater quantity that's really cheap, really effective, and really safe. Smash it down the gob, 5 grams a day every day. If you want to look at the kilogram model, then you go for 0.1 grams per kilogram of body weight, which is what I do. Honestly, you're fantastic. Not only does it have some benefits to the old performance and the lifting and it being safe and allowed in sport, it also can have some benefits to the old brain. And we like brain benefits sometimes. Stick to the gaming, because that is a really bad take, and I will happily 1v1 you on COD. I lifted weights during my pregnancy so that my delivery would look like this. To clarify, I did not lift weights during my pregnancy. I'm really off the screen because stop it. Okay, so basically what they're trying to say here is that lifting weights during pregnancy can be beneficial to pregnancy. Again, as the doctor here says, yes, with caveats. From like a benefit perspective, what I've seen from people I've trained who have been pregnant and gone through pregnancy, the ones who have focused on lifting heavy, within reason, you do have to make some adjustments on accommodations for many things due to the fact that there is a large thing there, do typically seemingly have, again, just from anecdotal evidence being things I've seen and heard about, have easier pregnancies. So many people theorize as to why this might be, stronger associated muscles, all sorts, but I have seen a lot of benefit in people I've worked with, like clients, when they've gone through pregnancy and given birth after having actually kept up with resistance training, even just a couple of times a week. So it's something to consider. Again, no, I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not specially qualified in prenatal training. It's just something I've seen and something I have noticed as a common trend, which I respect. And I think, you know what, you just have to understand you have got to listen to your body, and you may have to make adjustments when needed because your body will be changing and you probably have to change a few things to align with that. So we've got a few things, a few TikToks. I actually quite like these TikToks because it allows me to address many different topics and conversations in quite a fast-paced manner. So if you have any TikToks you want to send me for me to look at, send them to my TikTok at Harry_TFNL, or even send them as Instagram Reels to my Instagram at Harry_TFNL, and then we're bloody laughing and we'll go from there. But like with all my videos, this is simply my opinion. And I'd love to hear your opinion on whether you think my chair was poorly designed or it's creaking because I'm gaining weight. Let me know in the comment section below. Until the next one, thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating my waffle about the toxin and the ticks, and thank you for tolerating the video.